Hi, my name is Kieran Sherratt, and this is my 307 SEM Vodcast on Nike. The module title is Managing Sports Organisations. The aims of this podcast is to understand how Nike currently operate and how managers can influence performance using the relevant theories. We will look at Nike's current climate and culture. We're going to use relevant managerial theories to provide recommendations which Nike can potentially implement in the future. So, who are Nike? Nike is an American multinational corporation that is engaged in the design, development, manufacturing, and worldwide marketing of sales in footwear, apparel, equipment, accessories, and services. They were previously known as Blue Ribbon Sports, which is now ASICS, and they were founded in 1964 by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman in Oregon, USA. Now, Phil Knight was a middle distance runner from Portland who trained under track and field coach Bill Bowerman. Phil wanted to develop a trainer that would enhance athletes' performance, so he went to Japan and he came up with an innovative design and brought it back to try and sell to his coach, Bill Bowerman. And instead of wanting to purchase it, he wanted to get involved in the business, and that's where Nike was born. Nike was ranked the most valuable brand by Forbes in 2017, and actually, Adidas was ranked third with a third of the value of Nike. And Nike's mission is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. And to Nike, if you have a body, you are an athlete. Up next, we have organisational theory. So there is two fundamental components of organisational theory, and these are structure and control. Firstly, we're going to have a look at structure. So organisational structure pertains to how an organisation's tasks are broken down and allocated to employees or volunteers. The reporting relationship among these role holders and the coordinating and controlling mechanisms used within the sport organisation. Three fundamental components of organisational structure. Complexity. So this focuses on the layers of an organisation, formalisation, which is rules and procedures, and centralisation, which is decision making. So we're going to delve a little further into the complexity, which constitutes of three different types of structure. These are horizontal, vertical, and spatial. So horizontal differentiation is the assignment of specific job roles to specific people, and it's organised by the function, the process, or the product, etc. So all the staff are on the same level, there's no ranking system, all the managers will be on the same type of pay, so they'll all be on the same pay grade, and they'll all be ranked the same. And then we have vertical differentiation, which is a pyramid top-down structure. Obviously, the more complex the organisation, the higher, the taller the pyramid would be. So for Nike, that would be a very tall pyramid if they use that structure. The CEO makes the decisions which are then implemented by the managers and carried out by the workers. So complexity depends on the number of levels. For a small company, it would have a flatter structure, whilst a tall company would be more complex and have a higher number of levels. And then we have the spatial differentiation, which is a geographic dispersion of offices, plants and personnel. So Nike is a global company, so it has offices, plants and personnel located around the globe due to the demands of the brand. It may also give a political and legal advantage to have the brand in that residing country. So Nike uses a matrix structure, which is a combination of the differing organisational structures. In a matrix structure, responsibility is passed both vertically and horizontally. As a global organisation, Nike uses a geographically divisional structure to tend to its consumer needs. And the following characteristics are notable in Nike's organisational structure. So these are global corporate leadership, the semi-autonomous geographic divisions, and a global division for Converse and brand licensing. And here we have an example of a matrix structure, and as you can see from the diagram, this is how it would work, with responsibility both passed horizontally and vertically, project managers working together, and everything coming from the chief executive or the vice president. So the matrix structure, a few negatives of it is it's a two boss problems, which may leave project members caught in the middle if either boss has a different vision which they want to implement. Project members can often play bosses against one another to try and benefit themselves. That also increases organisational complexity. Now, for a brand like Nike who have a lot of staff, that doesn't matter too much because you're always going to have complexity. A few positives is the clear articulation of project objectives, retention of expert teams for the life of the project so they see it through from the beginning right to the end, and the workable way of integrating project objectives with functional objectives. Up next we have two definitions of culture, which I'll begin with the first one, is basic patterns of shared values and assumptions governing the way employees within an organisation think about and act on problems and opportunities. This is also backed up by Sherratt's views on organisational culture as a pattern of shared assumptions that guides behaviour in organisation. This is represented by artifacts, values and base assumptions. So Nike's matrix structure increases the level of conflict in the workplace due to complexity of the chain of command. The conflict resonates at a level which does allow Nike to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Hocker and Wimmer argue people tend to view conflict as a negative force, operating against successful completion of group or common goals. The positive effects, however, do include improving the quality of decisions, stimulating involvement in the discussion, and building group cohesion, which allows Nike to be innovative and provide that inspiration to everyone. Now, culture and conflict. So Nike have always had brand ambassadors. So Stints, Steve Prefontaine, who was Nike's first brand ambassador, who during his college career set 7 American records from the 2,000 metres to the 10,000 metres. Nike have always sponsored successful athletes. However, over the past 3 decades, Nike have used their corporate power to tackle social issues such as equality. Now, Nike and Strong Guy campaigns go hand in hand, and the most recent campaign, which featured Colin Kaepernick, the then American football coach from San Francisco 49ers, who decided to take a knee when the national anthem was on in support of Black Lives. He was featured in the campaign with the strapline. Believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. So since Kaepernick took the knee, he was released. He opted out of his contract with San Francisco, and he hasn't played in an NFL game since. The campaign was the 30th anniversary of Nike's 1988 Just Do It campaign, which tackled ageism. A year later, they tackled disability. So Nike thrived in that controversy, and whilst it's not the first controversial athlete that Nike have sponsored, examples of this include Tiger Woods, who, when he was experiencing marital issues, feeling like the CEO said, when his career's over, you look back at these indiscretions as a minor blip. As we can see through the list of brand ambassadors, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Cristiano Ronaldo, Serena Williams and Colin himself, these are athletes who have always been successful on the pitch, but have sometimes had issues, social issues that they've wanted to tackle off the pitch. So my recommendations for Nike was to tackle them social issues, which other companies might be a bit too afraid of, because Nike strives in controversy that was seen in the aftermath of the recent campaign featuring Colin Kaepernick. The stock prices initially dipped by over 3% following the campaign, but online sales risen by 31%, which brought Nike back on top. So tackling them issues, whilst at first may bring the stock price down, in the long run, they do aid Nike and they do put them on top and get them as a talking point. Donald Trump commented on Twitter on the Colin Kaepernick campaign and said, Nike is getting absolutely killed with anger and boycotts. But that's exactly what Nike want. Nike want people to talk about them. At the end of the day, it's free publicity for them, and they were supported by the people in America and across the globe who wanted to stand up for something. Structure. Due to the global size of Nike, it may be difficult to implement any structural changes. So it would be hard to move away from this current matrix structure that it has. But that's what provides Nike with its innovation, because it has the two bosses approach and they work well together. And it should continue to use its ambassador program. However, it could use it to boost sales in areas where Nike doesn't excel. So this could be both geographical and sport-based. So I've used the example of boxing. We all know Anthony Joshua as the Under Armour athlete. If Nike was to poach Anthony Joshua or go after a younger boxer who was going to excel in the future, like they did with Michael Jordan, the LeBron James in basketball, and then when they were successful, they've signed him up and they've got him for the lifetime contract. So that could be an area that Nike looks to expand. I've got my references on the last slide. Thank you very much for watching. They'll be in the comment section.